All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's go ahead and do these together. So I'm going to multiply. The a is larger than 1, so I'm going to multiply the 5 times 3, and that's 15. And then I'm going to rewrite this as x squared plus 16x plus 15. I am then going to factor normally. What multiplies to be 15 and adds to be 16 turns out to be 15 and 1. So this is x plus 15 and x plus 1. Now I'm going to take my original a value and I'm going to divide that by the factors that I just found here. Simplify any fractions. So this becomes x plus 3. And this one over here, since the 5, since this isn't a whole number, I'm going to move the 5 to the front. And there's my factored solution. X plus 3 times 5x plus 1. Multiply the a times c, factor normally, divide by the a value, move any denominators to the front if they don't become whole numbers. Let's do the next one. Multiply a times c. That's negative 21. So this is x squared minus 20x minus 21. Factor normally. What multiplies to be negative 21 and adds to be negative 20? That's going to be negative 21 and positive 1. So this is x minus 21 and x plus 1. Now I take my original a and I divide it. X minus 21 over 7 times x plus 1 over 7. This gets simplified to x minus 3. This one will not reduce, so I move the 7 to the front. And that is my factored form. All right, if you have any questions on this, make sure you address them. Otherwise, let's go ahead and move on to the next example, which is solving by factoring. So just like before, again, just like we did in 4.3, once an equation is factored, you can find the two solutions. And again, these are the zeros, okay? So we're going to factor this, and we're going to factor it the same way we factored the previous examples. And then at the end, we're going to find what makes 0, okay? So multiply 3 times negative 8, you get negative 24. I'm going to rewrite that as x squared plus 10x minus 24. Factor normally. What multiplies to be negative 24 and what adds to be positive 10? That's going to be 12 and negative 2. So this becomes x plus 12 times x minus 2. Divide these by my original a value, x plus 12 over 3 times x minus 2 over 3. This one simplifies to x plus 4. This one doesn't, so I move this to the front, 3x minus 2. And all of this, by the way, is equal to 0. Okay, so we've factored it, but now we need to solve it, find the solutions. So we ask ourselves, what makes 0? All right. So for this one, it's pretty easy. It's definitely, whoa, that's a funny looking 3. It's definitely a negative 4, right? So we've definitely got x equal to negative 4 because of this one. This one may be a little bit more difficult to see, but actually if we look at this version right here, it's actually a little bit easier to determine what makes 0 here. If this is minus 2/3, the thing that's going to make 0 is going to be a positive 2/3. So this version actually has some nice things when we're looking for zeros, because this is definitely a fraction. You can see it with this one. If we were to solve for 0 here, or solve for x here, we add 2 to both sides, then divide by 3. You get x equals 2/3, right? So you can do it this way where you set it equal to 0, but if you look at this version of it, you can see that it's definitely going to be 2/3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got one more practice for you back on the Canvas, so please go and check those out. The next video will have the worked out solutions for these ready to go. All right, so we'll see you in a couple minutes.